A ship is usually referred to as a she. They even give her female names. For Nigeria, women make almost 50% of the population. It means therefore that Nigeria is in trouble if women don't carry out their part.
Maritime industry is a hub of opportunities, wide range of opportunities, whether in terms of tourism, in terms of engineering, in terms of technology, in terms of professional courses, like law, accounting, all of that.
If you look at the map, Nigeria is probably one of the biggest coastal nations, but we're not using what we have. We're not using it enough. So I took interest in that to see how we can advocate for change, progressive change.
I find that I want to empower more women through at least my own sphere. So we are a shipping company, we have vessels. So I'm making sure that our cadetship training schemes is giving opportunities to female cadets, making sure that those female cadets, we're charting a course for them, a career course that enables them to sail on board the vessels as officers and giving them an opportunity to come off and still grow in a career in the industry.
I have been a cadet at the dry dock. I went on board still as a cadet and I grew to be an officer. I have got myself very involved in repairs and maintenance of machineries, both ashore and at the dockyard.
I learned a lot about how businesses operate, how businesses function. I learned a lot about behind the scenes. Consultancy is going beyond just consulting. It's now becoming industry specific, which is exciting.
I do not like it when the federal government of Nigeria is old. So in all the places where they have deployed me, mainly it's about revenue generation. There was this electronic Lloyd's register that could be used to track ships' movement. So on my own, I deployed resources and I obtained it personally. And I was using it to check vessels coming into Nigeria while I was at Tinkan Island port precisely. By that electronic Lloyd's that I personally obtained, the first time they checked, we had about $65,000 additional revenue. Later, it rose to $300 and something thousand. Back then in 2002.
The vessels that came to the Lagos port area, we inspected them to ensure that they were compliant with IMO regulations. Apart from that, we also had to inspect for environmental compliance those companies, jetties, tank farms, industries that were located within the port area and even its environs. That is tasking for any woman because it's not just intellectual. It's a lot of physical work. If you look at countries that have made a lot of progress, so Singapore, China, look at countries in Asia, they had 20, 30-year plans. And so that's why I'm always fighting for the younger generation to be involved. They call us the millennials or those that understand technology.
It's been very interesting working for the agency because I found out that over there, I'm just like any other officer there. You are not treated on the basis of gender.
While at Lagos Port Complex, I co-founded a forum, which we call the Readers Forum. And what it was basically about was to encourage reading among staff.
And we embarked on a mission to make a commercial diving curriculum that will enable diving to be taught in tertiary institutions in Nigeria.
I was part of the team in 2000 that led to the merchant shipping act being enacted. I was the secretary of the Ministerial Committee for Domestication of International Maritime Conventions. It was quite a task, but we achieved it.
I won the award for the best graduating female cadet HND category in maritime transport and business management in 2018.
The company where I worked, there was a maritime issue and they were looking for a geographist. They were like, who studied geography? Who knows something about geography? And I kept hearing the word territorial sea, nautical miles. And I was like, well, this sounds awfully a lot like maritime. So I was like, let me take a look at that. And it was a map, Basically, it was a situation where I could be very helpful. So I was able to prefer a solution in that scenario. And I mean, my managers were excited. There was, a lot of buzz about it.
I have quite a few female top executives in our company. So with all of us coming together, sharing that vision of knowing and being committed to the aspect of empowering women in our own immediate environment, it helps to make sure we meet the objectives.
Hard work, they say, does not kill, and the reward of hard work is more work.
In fact, I dare say that it was from all of the work that I did in developing procedures, policies, and documenting all our inspections and putting them in reporting format that I actually got management attention at the time that I was getting into middle line management.
The largest room in the world is the room for improvement. There are so many women now occupying strategic positions.
We currently have about 2 females right now in Tinkan that operate cranes. That's something that I never thought I would see in my lifetime, because that's a man's job.
And I have one, she's just gone for her second engineer. She was a third engineer on board our vessel. She's gone for her seconds now in Ghana. She's coming back. I told her, I said, she's not losing her job. We keep that slot for her. When she comes back, she's coming right back. I want to see this woman become a chief engineer in my time.
I believe in gender complements. There are things a woman will surely do better than a man. And there are some things, yes, a man will do better than a woman. But an average woman has this to her credit. We handle multitasking naturally.
When it comes to emotional intelligence, interpersonal skills, that is something that women have strongly, and they need to bring it to bear in this industry.
There are still moments under our velvet. Yes, on the surface, we are soft. Agreed. But underneath that velvet sash, there is still non-sentimental, non-compromising. This is what I have to do. I've got to do it.
One part of the divide is our society where we find ourselves. They don't give women a chance. They don't give women a chance. You have to prove yourself. What the society see is your sexuality. Even when you are not consciously projecting that, that is what they see. So you need to really stand your ground and let them know that we are here for business.
I want to be treated for what I'm bringing, the value that I'm bringing to the table, not just because I'm wearing a dress.
Generally, I think in Africa, there's that belief that the male is automatically supposed to lead. I've had people leave my unit because they don't want to be led by female.
I was the only female. Virtually in most of the places I had to go, either for training programs, for meetings, for maritime sessions generally. You look around and you don't see someone of your gender there, and you just have to brace yourself up.
When I came in, it wasn't easy. The environment was not friendly. It was like you've come into a domain whereby you're seen as a lesser being or not able to deliver.
For example, I went through the training, came out, wanted to go offshore. They said, no, you can't go. Why? We don't have what it takes to take a woman offshore.
It was always trying to prove yourself, trying to show them that you're good at what you do.
I don't really think being a woman is a barrier. You give in your best, you go extra mile.
So yes, women are definitely doing things in the industry. They can do just as good as the men, or maybe better, but with a lot more sacrifice required, a lot more commitment required, probably a lot more hard work required.
You've got to push yourself so hard so that they will realize that you are competent.
But it's not just about including women, it's including women that are capable of doing the work.
I don't think it's a question of what can we offer, it's what can we not offer. It's just a matter of diversification. It's a matter of really who is the most competent person to do this job.
So what we're saying now is that what else can the woman do? What other ceilings can we break? Women, we're past thinking, are we women, or are we men, or are we equal? We're saying look beyond all of that and let's focus on who's doing the job.
Is it the opportunity we're talking about about or what she's actually willing to bring to the table.
The most important thing is your intellect, how you can prove yourself. I think women are given the opportunity, and it's for them to grab the opportunity.
Accepting that a woman can do this job, accepting that a woman is skillful, accepting that a woman is talented, accepting the fact that no matter what it is, a woman can do it. That is the first step of, empowering women.
You can't sit back and expect that things will happen. You shouldn't also wait for your organization to develop. You should try to invest in yourself.
So what we have to do should be our target is to be able to package ourselves in such a way that we are qualified by the content that we are going to be adjudged for that particular position or for that particular office or whatever. So we shouldn't be shy. We shouldn't feel that we are not excluded. It's of crucial importance that we join now. If you ask me again, I will still tell you that it's of crucial importance that we come out now and participate.
But then you can't ask for gender parity on this side and then you want consideration. So they're saying, no, you're going to give women 5 months maternity leave. And everybody's clapping. I'm like, hello, no. From a woman, yes, you have that time that you take off, but at the end of the day, this person is running the business. So I'm going to say, I need this job done like this without as minimum interruptions as possible.
It's not often your enthusiasm is greeted with opportunities.
I have one very major low point, and that happened in 2006 because there was going to be port concessioning. There was also a whole lot of reforming of the Nigerian Ports Authority. That involved letting go of quite a number of employees. That did me in for quite a while because in Lagos we were about 32 in number in my department. By the time that exercise was over, we were just 5. None of us had any sleep because for Lagos ports alone, in a month, then you were talking of no less than 120 vessels to be inspected. That was not the terminals or the jetties you needed to oversee. So work that was for 32 people was now cut down to 5 people. So it was a lot of pressure for many days on end.
Sexual harassment. It is extremely exhausting mentally and physically to have to consistently keep people that you're trying to do business with or you're trying to engage with professionally focused on what the core issue is.
Sometimes when I speak at seminars, I feel, maybe because I'm always advocating for the younger generation, I'm also looked at like, oh, because she wants the work.
Then the high points in MPAS, the committees I've served in.
Coming into the industry as a complete novice, knowing nothing about the maritime industry or the shipping industry, and coming out 5 years later with so much knowledge, so much opportunity, being on the ESCO of SWAN, having speaking platforms for the last 2 to 3 years.
When I was given an opportunity to serve with a former managing director, I was just a junior officer there, but I was given the opportunity.
Seeing somebody who doesn't know anything today and I can impart something to that person. So you look for a new recruit within the industry and you begin to pump all your wealth of knowledge in that person.
Studying maritime transport and business management in Maritime Academy of Nigeria, or RUN, was like an eye-opener for me to the opportunities that exist there.
And another high point for me is the implementation of regulations. Every time we succeed in implementing regulations within the maritime industry, I can almost do a backflip. Because if we're going to grow as a nation, it will be because we implement policies and regulations.
Do the difficult things.
If you think more about what needs to be done, then you will find even the physical strength to get that thing done.
Rome was not built in a day.
Impossible is nothing. I never look at the challenges. Those challenges, I see them as assignments and tasks that I have to deconstruct and overcome.
All that a person achieves and all that a person fails to achieve is a direct reflection of their own thoughts.
Follow your dream. matter what.
If you can attribute a ship to a woman, why can't a woman be involved in the maritime sector?